I've been having a discussion over on Gab off and on with a bunch of different people who really want the platform to grow, but they refuse to acknowledge that Gab has a really bad reputation out in the real world. I'm starting to wonder if maybe that reputation isn't deserved, at least to a certain degree. Because while it's a free speech platform, and I am a huge proponent of free speech, largely it's allowing bad ideas and reprehensible beliefs to go largely unchallenged. And that's a problem, and it's one that simply doesn't exist on other social media platforms that I visit, with the possible exception of Minds, and they're to a much lesser degree. See, the only reason the alt-right racist assholes wound up on Gab in the first place is because it's pretty much the only platform that will have them. They can spout their hate-filled bigotry and nobody can stop them. And I don't want to stop them. I want them to have a platform where they can speak freely, but also a platform where they can be freely criticized. The problem is, that's not happening. I mean, if you look at the regressive left on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, they spout their reprehensible ideas, and there's a large, organized, and very vocal group of people who go after them consistently. Every time they open their mouths, their content is taken apart by dozens and dozens of content creators who criticize them, and rightfully so. The ideas of the left are simply bad ideas that need to be attacked and exposed for the hate-filled, irrational rhetoric that it is. But on Gab, that doesn't happen. There are very few people who ever speak out against the alt-right. Now, you can't go 5 minutes without some racist screed getting plastered across the site, but virtually no one disagrees. Nobody debunks these crazy claims. Nobody debates these racist assholes. And I know that people who disagree are there because every time I get sick and tired of it and go after them, my posts get liked and reposted like crazy. But where are the other people who are similarly going after these reprehensible assholes? I just don't see it. And nobody wants to see this as a problem. I mean, I was talking with someone about getting people from Facebook to come to Gab. And I pointed out the vast majority of Facebook users won't care about Gab because they don't care about politics. And frankly, Gab has a bad reputation, and I'm getting more and more convinced that it's deservedly so. But no, the only people he wants to come over from Facebook are the political junkies who ignore the media and anything bad said about the site. He just wants the right kind of people. Well, sorry, only having the right kind of people is going to turn Gab into more of an alt-right echo chamber than it already is. We need a wide variety of people with a wide variety of ideas, even the far left, so that we can debate every single one of them and come to some kind of common ground. Gab is a reasonable platform for that because Gab won't cater to any particular political ideology and shut everyone who disagrees up. But that's just not happening on Gab. And trust me, I don't want the alt-right racists shut up. I just want them to be opposed every bit as strenuously as the regressive left is opposed on other social media sites. I want the neo-Nazis to be criticized every bit as much as feminists are criticized elsewhere. But right now, that's just not happening. And that means the racists are de facto running the show because they're openly operating without any consistent opposition on the site. I can't do it myself, and nobody else wants to help. No wonder the media depicts the place as a cesspool. It is. It really is a shame because Gab could be so much better. But when you have the racist assholes whining and crying every time someone says something bad to them, when they're going as far to the extremes as they can manage on purpose, and then crying censorship whenever someone tells them to knock it off, and nobody's got the balls to stand up to these children, I just don't have much hope for the site in the long term. Because the only way the site can thrive is by attracting a wide range of users, and nobody in their right mind is going to step foot on the site as it is now. It's just a train wreck in slow motion, And again, I'm not saying a bunch of people should come in and run the racists out of town on a rail. That's not at all my intention. But when it's so heavily loaded with very vocal and frankly very stupid racist idiots, and they're all uniformly uneducated, immature children, nobody's going to abandon a more reasonable and even-handed site like Twitter, and it's kind of hard to say that, but it's true, for a racist cesspool like Gab. I mean, for those who haven't gone over there, you literally cannot go 5 minutes without something outright racist being posted in pretty much every category I pay attention to. Politics, news, philosophy, science, even polls. Polls are probably the worst of all. It's all anti-black, anti-Semitic, anti-Muslim, kill 'em all, power to the white race garbage by people who are totally incapable of intelligent discussion, because the second you disagree, you get blasted by racist rhetoric and insults from every quarter. I have more people permanently muted there than I think I have on any social media platform I've ever been on in my life. So anyway, what do you think? I mean, I'm in favor of free speech, but free speech has to have a balance. And right now, the lunatics are clearly running the asylum. And the second anyone wants to put them in check, they start screaming censorship. They're not there because they want to talk. They're there because they want to be in control. And at the moment, the owners of Gab are letting them because they're terrified of being called out for censorship. Unfortunately, this is one of those cases, like pretty much every place else, where if you call them racist, you shut people up. There, if you call people out for censorship, they shut up too. The only people who are really signing up, by and large, are more racists, who see it as a place to get free reign to do anything they want, no matter what it is, no matter how tasteless and extreme, in the name of free speech. And I've literally seen demands that Gab allow child pornography, or they're just a bunch of dirty, rotten censors. It's just ridiculous. Free speech might be a hot-button issue right now, but with freedom of speech comes a requirement for responsibility. The alt-right assholes want none of that. And frankly, I think something has to be done.